Welcome, ladies, on this Wednesday morning, again, Australia time, Eastern Standard. Hello. We've just got 4 on at the moment. We might find some others jump on shortly, but this session is all about a show and tell of all those things that we are either currently wearing or not wearing, but we just can't give up because they have some emotional attachment, they mean something to us. They're so precious that we just can't let them go if we're not wearing them. So who brought something along to this session? I know I did. Have to be old, it could be vintage, it could be new, it could be, but there's an emotional attachment. Why did you buy it? Well, how does it make you feel when you wear it? And if you're not wearing it, why not? I think it's always fascinating looking at the things that people have bought.
This is an old Trellis Cooper jacket that I've had probably for 20 years when I had my own store, and I love it. I never wear it because I don't go anywhere anymore. Every now and then I wear it. I might wear it once a year, but I just love the. I think it's got a cameo. Actually, funnily enough, I've got a cameo bracelet on, but I think. No, it's not a cameo. It's just a beautiful woman on the back, and I'd love the glitter and
gorgeous.
I think I bought it at a time where I just finished having my children. I was in a very, very unhappy marriage, never went anywhere, and I thought, you just have to have hope and think you'll go somewhere one day. But I love it.
Yes, but that's a special piece, and so when you wear it, how does it make you feel?
Well, I love it because it makes me. I feel feminine, I feel smart, I feel strong because it's a long sort of, it's almost, the kids used to say, oh, Mum, you look like you're in the Matrix, you look like Keanu Reeves. And I've sort of got past that and I can ignore all the jokes and think, I look really nice in there, so it's quite fitted. And now my daughters have grown to love it. I don't know, I guess at the time, when I was never buying anything nice for myself, it just, I don't know, it was a bit of I just love it.
Yes. Well, look, sometimes you can't explain this real love for something. It's just like, oh, yes, I'm just in love with it. And that's it, makes you feel wonderful. Yeah. And I've got a lot of up-purpose clothes, which I love. I've got clothes date back to the 80s. I've just unpacked that has been there for 12 years. And, oh, my gosh, I'm finding trinkets, I'm finding linen, I'm finding things that I'd forgotten all about. And, 12 years ago, we went around Australia in a big Winnebago, and of course, everything got stored and has never been unpacked ever since. So this is quite a surprise. And I'm thinking, just as we've moved into this home and everything's put away and everything's sort of like in its place, I'm thinking, please don't bring me any more stuff, but I'm looking at these things and I'm thinking, oh, wow, I know why I bought that, because there was a feeling around it, or it was a time in my life I really needed to just, express something of myself or reward myself. Are you interested in having a look at some of the things I've got here?
Sure.
Well, here we go. And I know, Louise, you're going to love these.
Oh, that's what the cowboy boots are. My God.
Fabulous.
Where did you get them from?
You know what? I think they were from Via Condotti, but I can't swear to it. It's so long ago, and I've had them for a long time. And I used to wear them when Frank and I first met 16 years ago, and I'd had them before that on his Harley Davidson bike, and I had these big fur cuffs around my wrist, with these beautiful leather gloves with the big furry cuffs that used to blow in the breeze, and of course the obligatory scarf and everything, and these boots, and of course on the back of the Harley it was quite a look, actually. Oh, look, I love it. They are divine, and you know what, I put them on. And I think it's because of maybe a combination of, I put on a bit of weight that has also dropped down to my feet, or my feet have expanded. They are too tight. And I've been looking forward to finding these for so long that now I'm really disappointed that they are. So
can you have them, Evelyn, can you take them to the bootmaker and have them stretched?
I'm going to try, but if I cannot, get them stretched in time, I'm going to enshrine them behind glass in a boxed frame. I'm not sure. Yes, and I was showing Emma just a moment ago my vintage glass,
Oh,
which are not my.
colour.
They're very old, and they almost remind me of the 3D glasses you get at the movies. So
They look good though, even though they're not your colour. I think you can pull it off just because they're such a striking,
yes,
style.
yes, that's
They're,
right.
they're fantastic. They're a beautiful shape on your face.
Yeah, yeah. The angles are really good for me. Things angles suit me a little bit more than say the round. If I'm doing sort of combination, that's fine. But yeah. So they're my vintage glasses. Now, how do they make me feel when I wear them? I do feel that they're very dramatic because of the unusual shape and everything. I don't really care about the color. This is when you can really just it's your personality that overrides things like that. And I do like the fact that it's very dramatic. And I probably still wear them, probably. But with my boot, I must admit, with my boots, I just felt like the ants' pants, the cat's whiskers, as they used to say. Yes.
Isn't that funny with those glasses though? Because I would call your face more contoured and not an angular face, and yet they're quite angular, and yet they look so good on you. But probably because they're dramatic and you've got a dramatic style.
Yeah. Well, the funny
Right?
thing about it was I used to have quite an angular face when I didn't have the extra conditioning on. And it was funny, I didn't realize it until I was in a training session. I was training image consultants up, and I was demonstrating the importance of the face shape, and how those the lines or the actual angles of your face or the roundness of your face should be reflected in some of the details that you wear on your bodies, especially in accessories. Well, anyway, and I was demonstrating this very angled bag, the angled shoes, and the earrings. I'm saying, now, girls, can you see that I look so much better in the angles and not the rounds? And they are looking very confused. I said, can't you see that? And they said, well, we know we like the angles on you, but the rounds aren't too bad. And I said, oh, can't you see that I'm so much more angled? I'm looking in a mirror and I went, oops. I put on a few pounds. My face had actually
It's filled out here.
I thought, okay, girls, right, I get it. Really funny. And I just want to show you these beautiful cups.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And again, I thought, oh my God, because I used to wear one on each wrist. Well, of course. But anyway. And
where are they from?
they're actually Indonesian, I think. But you know what? I can't wear them now. My wrist has expanded as well. But they are exquisite. And they could actually be a decorative item, on a little stand together. So I might actually use those as a decorative item. But when I wore them, and they're all shinied up, and these are a little bit tarnished now. But when I wore them, I felt, it's just it was an item that really expressed something that was different. Actually, I used to wear them with a plain black suit. The suit was very unusual anyway in its cut, but I'd throw these on and it changed the whole thing around the suit. So I love that. It was the surprise factor. Now, one more thing that I did bring to this session today was these beautiful
Love those.
Karl Lagerfeld ankle boots. And they are suede, beautiful suede, a deep yellowy yellow, and it's a very warm yellow. Love the heel.
Yeah.
And now that Karl Lagerfeld has passed, like he passed away, I think, last year. And I cannot let these go, really. And again, they're way too tight for me. So I'm going to end up getting those boxed in a frame. And I've got the wonderful framer that's going to do that. But I will tell you a little story about these shoes. And I wore these with all black. So the attention always seemed to go to my feet. You can imagine that. And they looked sensational. So I was in the city and I was wearing these shoes and I was, in black pantsuit. And I saw my friend Robert Clare of Robert Clare Jewellery. I saw him walking towards me and his focus was on my shoes. And these had been shown in Vogue magazine, in the latest magazine as well at the time. And he's looking. I'm looking at his face, expecting him to look up at me so I could say, "Hi, Robert." And he walked past me, and this is how he walked. He was like this. And he kept looking at my feet. And I followed his eyes right round till he was behind me. And then I called out, "Robert." And he looked up, he went, "Oh, Evelyn." So my shoes had overshadowed me completely. But I loved these shoes. I felt, they just gave me so much joy when I put them on. And I'm so glad I did get to wear them several times. But you can see by the sole, I didn't get to wear them a lot. So
they look like they've hardly been worn.
I know. I think I might have worn them all of about 10 or 12 times. What a shame, hey? But anyway, they're going to grace my walls somehow. Oh,
My shoes.
magic.
I could dance all night in that shoes. It's sitting in the box. It's all velour and leather and that Spanish, I think, Spanish.
Yeah.
So, and I was wearing it with yes, it's 20 years old, black Georgette.
Oh.
Black Georgette jump, how it called? Jumpsuit.
Yes.
Suit. And I still can fit in. It's like that.
Oh,
And
ooh la la.
and my tummy out, and I put a shawl there. So I still wear it on New Year's Eve when I am at home and I have a party. 20 years old with that shoe.
Beautiful.
Otherwise, I don't keep stuff.
Do the
To
shoes-
tell the truth, I don't keep stuff.
No,
do the
I
shoes
don't
still
either.
fit you? The shoes still
So-
fit.
Yeah, when I bought that Georgette thing, it was so unique, and it had gold. That was gold and black at that time, and it had a very wide gold belt all over. That was stunning. I was 40 kilos, now 60.
And
That
you
happens.
can wear it. Oh, sorry, Emma.
Yeah. Thank
Sorry.
you. That's it.
Wow. And how did it make you, when you wore it, what was the feeling you got when you put it on? What?
It was on me last year, on New Year's Eve, and I even went down at 9 o'clock to the mezzanine level in the building to watch the fireworks. And I was just like that, and elegant and young, and after, oh my God, in that shoes. But I still could walk. So I felt young and yeah.
When you buy something amazing, you find that amazing piece and you just know you have to have it. There have been pieces that I've had to have, even though they might have been too expensive. I've paid them off, but the amount of joy they give you, honestly, it's true, you only live once. I have a girlfriend who, she and I and my wonderful friend Dino, we used to spend quite a bit on clothes. And you can never lament the amount of money that you spend in those days thinking what you might have now, because, and we're actually starting to go down that path of lamenting, oh my God, think of the money we've spent and blah, blah, blah over all those years. I said, aren't we lucky to have ever had that opportunity to have just had the fun to go and get things and wear them and enjoy them? Whereas at the moment, I think we're all a lot more frugal than we used to be, and probably a little more mindful as well as to how much we really need and don't need in the wardrobe. But and it was just a different thought at the time. I thought, yeah, I am glad that I did all that, because it was incredible fun. It really was.
I have an old ring that's an owl. It already losing the diamonds and everything, but it's still a guy on the tram looked at me and I thought, my God, what's behind me? And he thought, I like your ring. An old guy, still complimenting, but
Yeah.
that's so old, and that's an old.
And you can get some tiny little diamonds. They don't cost a lot, but you could get little diamonds to replace the ones that have gone. You could. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or even Swarovski, you could get,
Yes.
if you wanted to
Yeah,
just fill
absolutely.
them in.
Absolutely.
So I just put in the chat, Louise said she hangs on to everything, and I said I'm the opposite. I rarely hang on to things. After I left the corporate sector, I had all these beautiful suits and heels and, bags and jackets and things that I used to wear. And I held on to them for about a year, and then I just went, well, this is ridiculous. I'm never going to wear any of those things again. So they all went. And then as I've got older, so those shoes you were just showing, Alona, the heels, I used to love my heels. I had these towering heels. And I used to, spend all day in them. And as I've got older, I just can't wear them anymore. So eventually I just went, I must have got rid of at least 20 boxes of heels. They're gone, can't use those anymore, uncomfortable, don't want to wear them, can't wear them. So I definitely divest. I have a very tightly edited wardrobe, but I hang on to my accessories and jewelry. So that's the sort of thing that I know I will always get wear out of, and it can go with whatever I've got. But one thing I have held on to for years and years and years, and I very rarely wear it, but it was definitely one of those sentimental things that I look at, and it just reminds me of a time that I enjoyed. So I was working for this multinational company who were headquartered in Texas. And I went over to their head office for a business trip and spent a bit of time there. And while I was there, I said to myself, I'm going to buy a pair of cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, from Texas, the real deal, not. So I went into this saddlery, bootmaker place, and I found this fabulous hat. Got a few age spots now, so I might have to see if I can do something with those. And I carried this in a bag all the way across America and then back on the plane, and I had to put it in the overhead thing very carefully in the bag. But it's just got sentimental value.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of the shoes. I've got these shoes. They're Gucci shoes.
Oh, beautiful.
I could no more wear them than, fly to the moon, and I cannot get rid of them. This is a previous life of mine. I've taken them to the bootmaker to see if they'll cut the heel off, but they can't because this is steel rod. I just cannot get rid of them. They are the most beautiful shoes, but I wouldn't be able to even sit in them. they're so high. But you just can't get rid of things like that. And even my daughters, I don't know where I've gone wrong, because I would have hobbled around in these, up until I was 40 even. But my daughters are so practical. Honestly, they would not wear high shoes.
Yeah.
So funny. But, talking about, Ilona, your shoes were just so beautiful. All of your shoes. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you those. Can't get rid of them.
I just go, well, I can't justify hanging on to those. I haven't got the space to hang on to everything. So out it goes. Love the skirt.
I've had it for 3 or 4 years and I just never wear it. So today, I'm just, I really try to make a conscious effort to wear different clothes in my wardrobe.
That skirt, I think, is the sort of thing that you could do pretty much with what you've got on, like the denim jacket you've got behind you and sneakers.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Got the denim. That's back.
But that whole look, that kind of sport luxe kind of vibe.
Yeah, I love Emma's hair. I love the fact
Wow.
that
Yes.
it's on one side.
Well, both sides, actually. Well, both sides and all down the back.
You've got so much hair. Oh, love it.
Is that a really wild hairdo for you? I've not seen your hair like that before.
I have had my hair this short when I was younger, but I just needed a huge change and I decided to do something radical.
And I also, you're lucky because you've got that little ducktail down the back, which I've always loved. If you've got that hair where you've got the, almost like the cowlick both sides and it comes down. I love that. Yes, unfortunately I don't have that. So any other treasures that you might have discovered?
The only other thing I do keep is I collect resin rings. So I have an enormous collection of resin rings. So these are all my rings and they live in this bowl like candy. So, and some, picked up on travels. This one is a designer I particularly love. She's a Dutch designer. This one is hers, and I've got quite a collection of her jewellery. And one reason I like what she does is that she manufactures her products in Thailand, and she has set up this fabulous workshop to employ local women so they come in. All this stuff is made by hand, and she employs almost exclusively women, and has really helped them then be able to support their families and build their businesses. So I like the fact that it's there's also an ethical element to that as well.
Can't get rid of my fur coat. That's, I know it's not politically correct and blah blah, but I don't throw my mink coats out. I have 3, even in Australia. I wear it once a year when I go somewhere, and I have to lie that it's not
Fake, yeah.
fake. In Hungary, we had to lie that, it's real. Now it's fake. So I can't throw it away.
No.
One is very old-fashioned, long and big sleeves, mink coat, and the other one is just simple. And wow, when I put them on, that's a special feeling. I don't. If I stop the video, that's one of my fur coats there.
Oh yes, gorgeous.
The Brussels airport somewhere, I don't know.
Wow.
Evelyn!
Oh, wow.
Fabulous.
Stand up. Show me the length.
It's a topper. It's like what we would call a topper. It comes to the top of my, mid-thigh. I can't even show you the length.
You can.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep.
It's absolutely beautiful.
So beautiful. So, and what we'll do with them?
Wear it.
No.
The animal's dead.
Exactly. And if anyone says, is it real? You just go, no, it's a really good fake.
Yeah.
I know there's the ethical thing, and this is an Australian fox. And Australian foxes are a bit of a pest.
When you talk about all these synthetic products, there's ethical, that's right, you shouldn't kill animals. But the other side to that is the green part of it, where the amount of, I don't know what, chemicals and whatever else it takes to produce fake fur is so bad for the planet but you don't get to talk about that.
I laugh about that with Stella McCartney's range, vegan leather thing, and the amount of petroleum that goes into producing vegan leather.
In the 70s in Europe, I worked with an international company, and we had guests from different countries. And once a Japanese guy, so handsome and tall, came in with a red fox coat, long coat, and just came in, and everybody was, and he could do that.
Yes,
at
you
that
have to
time.
have confidence to do this.
The men wore that.
Because there's a lot of people that don't know what you've just spoken about, Louise. They don't understand the damage to the environment just to make this fake fur.
There's no point getting into that argument.
But this is in Melbourne, people are not so funny about all of this because it's damn cold in Tasmania where I come from. And to wear a fur, it is the warmest toast in a fur like this, whereas some of the other fabrics don't keep you as warm. You know, you sort of layer. You put this on over a silk and you're still very warm. Mind you, I've had this since the 80s. So what's that, 80s, 90s?
40 years.
God. But I do have a floor length, it was a floor length mink coat. And it's so the voluminous sleeves from the 80s, you know that. They've taken out that much out of the sleeves and it's still left a beautiful curved sleeve down to a wrist. Beautiful. And it's been taken up and it's being remodeled and it's going to be just above the knee coat. Beautiful. When I took it, Linda Black, furriers, they're one of the only furriers left in Melbourne. They took one look at my coat. They went, oh, Liesl furs. They were just at the top of the range. They used to only ever get the Saga minks or the Saga, the really good ones. But with a mink and with animal like a fox that is a pest and minks that are farmed especially, I didn't feel so bad. I would never wear seal, but anything farmed, it's like, yeah, you farm a cow to eat the meat. That was the sort of mindset I had even in those days.
Aborigines were wearing real fur. When the new lady went to the parliament and was wearing that fur, and I told to my vegan friend, have a look. Oh, that's disgusting. The First Nation, disgusting. That's how they lived. That's how they survived. And another story that when I lived in Paris, we went out to check out the bad districts. And even that girl were wearing the fur coat, boots, and nothing underneath. Show something else.
Are we waiting?
Oh, like Swan Lake.
Oh, it's just divine.
Swan Lake, the black swan.
I wore this on the evening of the opening of my recycled shop, Le Deuxième Foire in Double Bay. And look, I was an unknown, you know, nobody really knew me, but all the media was there. And I had a black dress under this, short fishnet stockings and heels to kill. And I was jumping out of the car and somebody said to Mark Patrick, who was my PR guy and who had invited all the media, they said, oh my God, who is that? You know, as if like I was a star from somewhere. He said, that's the owner. It's amazing what apparel does. I felt like $1 million on that night. I really did. And I thought, oh my God, this is just beautiful. And it's made out of, I don't know if you can see, but actual individual feathers that have been sewn all together by a couple of my boyfriends in New Zealand. They made it for me as a present for the opening of the store. Isn't that amazing? 1980. Yeah, 1980. So these are pieces, and I think actually that should really be displayed as well somehow. But isn't it fun? You know, I think fashion should be fun. Fashion, look, we can all dress to avoid being arrested. Anyone can. But the fact is, when you can add the fun element to items, you've got to have your basics. But when you can add fun elements like that, it's like, yeah, there's something, does something for you. Well, look, if there's nothing else, I did expect a few more on this morning because it's just a fun session. If that is it, and look, we're at 10:48. Who would have thought that we would have been able to keep chatting about a few items like this? But it is. It's the emotional feeling that you get from clothes that you can. Everything's got a bit of story. It's got to have a story. There's always a story. And a lot of my things have a real story behind them. There's been an occasion, or it's something happened while I was wearing it, or and it does. The memories flood back when you pick up something that you've worn. Doesn't matter how long ago. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to wrap up now. And look, it's lovely to see your lovely selves on these calls. So thank you for jumping on. Same time next week. Bye bye, girls.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. Bye.